Hello, everyone. Okay, so this is how things go. I wanted to make sure we went live so that we didn't hold you guys up too long, but unfortunately, Cheri's having a few little technical difficulties. It happens to the best of us, but I wanted to make sure to go live so that you guys could see my face and know that we are here, and I honor you for showing up for your self-care today, whether you are over in my time zone, which is in Las Vegas Pacific time. It's lunchtime, so yay for me time, lunchtime, or whether it's a little bit later and maybe you're on the East Coast. So thank you guys so much for showing up here. We might end up bringing Cheri on through the phone. Cheri, are you there? Maybe you can call me and we can just stream you through your voice, and then you can like look at the screen, but you can dial in and call me. What do you think about that? I know her son is there helping with the sound. Yeah, grab Cheri. Let me see what she thinks about this. Thanks, guys, for hanging tight with us. Cheri, do you just want to call me on the phone? I can't see that. Do you just, oh, it's loading. Okay. Maybe get out of, so what we might have to do, this is fun because we're like miming it. What we might have to do is if it doesn't work on your phone, you can just hang up and then call me on the actual phone and just sit in front of the screen and I can stream your voice through. So we could do that. It'll be like a little delayed, but that could work if it's not loading. So, okay, cool. So let's give that maybe one more minute and see if it loads. And if not, you can hang up, Cheri, and then you can actually call me on the phone. Okay, she's doing that. Okay, cool. All right, guys, so yay! We are talking about the 3 radiant skincare secrets for holistic anti-aging today, and I'm super stoked. You guys have no idea what we have in store for you today. Cheri I've known for a really long time, and she's seriously like the goddess of skincare. She knows so much. I'm kind of worried that we're not going to be able to get everything in this hour, but I want to make sure to respect your time, and hopefully we won't go over. But we also want to keep you on the whole time because those of you who watch are going to be able to receive a free gift from Cheri. So, and it's really content packed. So I want to make sure that you guys grab that too. I know for me, like skincare has been an interesting thing. Like I had tons of acne as a kid, and you know, even as an adult, like I struggled a lot with my skin, and I still do every once in a while, mostly like when I'm about ready to start my period because my hormones are a little bit off, right? But what I found is through a lot of these tips that Cheri is going to be sharing with us, like, whoa, my skin is just so much better than it ever was. And like, even when I go to buy, you know, wine at Trader Joe's now, they think I'm like 16, which I used to take offense to because I've always wanted to kind of look older. All my friends are older, but now I'm like, you know what? That's a reflection of my skin. So you're in the right place if you are wanting to really make your skin glow and do it naturally. Most importantly, you know, Cheri is going to be sharing with us a lot about just the shit that is in these products, and it's gross and it's not good stuff. So she's going to enlighten us and possibly scare us a bit, but scare us in a good way so that we can feel empowered and we can go out there and know what to look for, so that we can nurture our body with these natural ways of staying in this place of ageless beauty and radiance. I know I want that for myself. So I'm curious if while we're waiting for Cheri, if you guys want to chime in the chat box. Thank you for those of you who have said hello and haven't left me feeling alone. Sometimes, you know, when nobody pipes up, it can feel a little lonely on these webinars, but I love community and I'm so glad that you're here. And this is my first time really kind of getting back out into the public besides social media. But I haven't really done any videos. Like I've kind of been hermiting. Some of you might know who follow me that I left my corporate job last month, and I was in corporate America for 10 years doing marketing and events and most recently company culture. And whew, man, oh man, has it been a big deal for me to transition and to actually go full time into doing my coaching and my retreats. I took a women's group to Bali back in April. So look out for more of that kind of stuff coming for me now that I have 100% of my time dedicated to really supporting you ladies in your radiant self-care. So back to the chat box. I would love to hear kind of what are you most excited about to hear today, or what are you most excited to learn? I don't know. I know you don't really know exactly what we're going to cover, but tell me, what are you looking forward to? And hopefully we get Cheri on the phone. So you guys answer there. I'm going to respond to Cheri and do some multitasking here, right? Here is self-care at its best, taking care of my needs, trying to get the person I'm interviewing on the phone. Three minutes on the computer. Great. Okay, so she's saying, hopefully the computer will be working soon. If I don't hear from you in 3 minutes, I'll call this number. Okay, cool. So we'll give them a couple minutes. Yay. Oh, Marisa, anti-aging tips. Even though I look young too, I want to keep it up. Yes, and Marisa does look very young and beautiful. I have to tell a quick story about Marisa. I just adore her. I was in Whole Foods, talk about, getting our Whole Foods dose. And I was actually grabbing a smoothie, which is really good for your skin when it's packed with all those yummy greens and antioxidant fruits. Gosh, I don't even remember when this was, Marisa, but I remember just being in Whole Foods, grabbing a smoothie. I was on my way to LA, I think. And I remember you just saying like, hey, I know you. Thank you so much for what you do in the world. And I just wanted you to know again that really touched my heart. So thank you for piping up here and for piping up when you first saw me in Whole Foods. You are really amazing. So thank you. Probably over a year ago. Yeah. All right. Cheri's back. Do we have it going, Cheri, or should I call you? How about we call? So at least in the meantime, we have your voice. Nope, I can't hear you. So I'm going to call Jacob's phone, and then at least we can have you on here. And we can see your face at the same time. Or do you want me to call your phone?
Hi.
Hi. Okay. So let's test this out. I've done this before on a group coaching call that I've done with my private clients. So hopefully this will work. Cheri, do you want to just maybe talk a little bit and then we can test it out and see if the group can hear you?
Okay. This is nice to hear. Right here, Ron. Jay, not Ron. Hi. Yes. So do I sound like you can hear me at all? I mean, it's probably muffled, right?
I can hear you. Let's check in with the group. Do you guys want to chime in the chat box? If you can hear Cheri, give us a yes. If you can't, give us a no.
Yeah, just let me.
I can hear her clearly. Great. Rossi, Marisa can hear you. Okay, perfect. So let's go with this. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Hi, Cheri.
Okay. Hi. I'm so sorry. I actually tried this out yesterday. It worked fine. I got in here this morning at 11:30.
Yeah.
And then it bumped me off. And then by the time I got back out, it was not on at all. So I don't know what happened, but that's the story of my life. I'm so energetic. And it happens regularly where I blow stuff out. So
I was gonna say we must be bringing a lot of energy between you and me to this call. So I'm not surprised. It's totally okay, right? Like I was just telling the ladies that that's part of our self-care is like learning how to roll with it. Just take care of what you need to do, and we'll bring it together.
Yeah. Okay.
Good. Well, hello, lovely. I was telling everybody about you and how we've known each other for a really long time. And, we were part of a women's group together. Gosh, I guess that was 4 years ago when that group started.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so here we are. I've, done stuff, my own events over at your beautiful space, which is called Oasis to Zen for those of you who live in Las Vegas. It's a beautiful wellness center and transformational spa. And Cheri is just like the queen bee when it comes to skincare, and especially like ageless beauty and anti-aging. And she just knows all the natural stuff. I remember the first time you were talking about this in my living room floor and just like sharing all, these horrific things that are in our like skin products. And I was like, oh my God. And I immediately went crazy and like cleared out all my stuff. But so I thank you for educating me.
Oh, yes. And, and I forget because I feel like everybody knows that because I know it and I talk about it all the time. And I forget. And that's why I'm doing this because not everyone does know, and it's so easy for me to talk anyway. I might as well be doing things where I'm sharing the information for others to be able to get cleaner skincare where it's not toxic and also poisoning their body, and then you don't feel as well anyway when you have all of that in your system.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. Like, I was mentioning in some of the sharing about this event that like since I started doing this, among with a bunch of other of my own radiant self-care regimen stuff. But I know this is a big part of it. I haven't been sick in 3 years. I got rid of my allergies. It's like, what? Like I used to have crazy massive allergies and people don't realize that like the stuff that is in these products that we're putting on our skin, right, is like causing some of this.
Right. Well, it's funny because everything boils down, or not funny, to being in a state of homeostasis or balance, harmony. And anytime we introduce something into our body that our body does not understand, that it doesn't know what to do with, it's really considered toxic to the body because it doesn't belong there. And so that whole idea of the body going into that panic mode of, okay, what do I do? How do I do this? I don't know where to put it. Immediately ages us. And so anything that you can do to bring your body back into balance is anti-aging, really, at the end of the day. And one of the big parts of skincare, of course, is the ingredients and so forth, but there's lots of other ways to do as well. And it just, when it really just boils down to that, you go, okay, is this hurting me or helping me? Okay, then it's aging me, because our body can't take care of our body if it's taking care of an imbalance. Because that imbalance goes up as stress, irritation and swelling, all of the insides get irritated because there's stuff going on that doesn't belong there. I mean, at a very basic level. I used to teach first grade, so I explain things a lot of times at first grade level.
I love it. Well, that's awesome. I love how we've just kind of jumped in here and we're like, there's so much to cover, right? But I would love for everybody here to learn a little bit more about you. Do you want to share just maybe a little bit about yourself and what you do and what got you into this? Like, why are you so passionate about this?
Right. Well, okay. So as I just shared, I used to be a first grade teacher. I taught many grades, but I love the little kids. And I do realize that was a gift because while I can speak very technically about skincare and molecules and ingredients, I can also bring it back to a very basic level, which I found is very helpful for someone that is not someone that just adored biology and high school and college, which I did. So I love the cells and all of that stuff. But anyway, what happened was I quit teaching for a while, became a stay-at-home mom, was not really thrilled with that. I'm not a lady that can stay at home with her kids. It's just not in. I used to be a little embarrassed to say that, but I'm not. I mean, some women just really like to have something else also. And while my kids are amazing, they wish, looking back, that I had also had something else going on besides that, because they could feel it, at that instinctive level. So I tried to go back to teaching in the beginning of 2000-ish area. I don't really know exactly. And it was just so different. And I was miserable, and I didn't know what else to do because that's what I know. I am a teacher, which I realize now is I'm not a teacher. That's just what I did. I am a facilitator and cheerleader at my core, but that doesn't mean that I have to have that label in order to be someone, which was part of my journey. But I ended up going into skincare for two reasons. It's creative, and it has that science component, and I love that science component. So went into it 5 years into working regularly, working with what I was told in school, what is good, what isn't good, what to use, blah, blah, blah. I got sick. I got sick with rashes. I didn't feel well. I would have stomach aches when I was at work. And what I realized by talking with the nutritionist and by talking to doctors and finding they didn't have the answer for me is that I was toxic inside. And so one of the big processes in order to clean up was, of course, my diet and things, but the self-care regimen was that my skincare was toxic. And while I was never taught any of that in school, it was really kind of hard for me to even admit it because I thought, oh, now what? Do I have to do a third career? Because, I'd already done the teaching and what have you. And what's evolved is by learning about the organic skincare, what's non-toxic, what is toxic, all of that stuff, how to do things differently. Mm-hmm. I now am an educator of exactly that. So I've ended up blending two into something that I never even knew that I would be interested in. And because, again, there's that science background, just love it. Love it. And the reason we just got turned into it is because I can't not talk about it, even when I try not to.
Yeah.
So I know you're thinking of something. What is it? And that's usually what it is. I have something to say about skin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I love it because, so many times, like, this stuff that we're sharing with the world, like, we have actually had to figure it out ourselves for survival, right? Like, just like me with my self-care, I had those massive stomach pains that left me crippled for, since I was a child all the way up until I think I was like 25 is when I finally started like, oh, maybe this is emotional. Maybe this is actually tied to more than what the doctors say, which was like, what are you eating? What are you eating? And I'd always eaten kind of healthy. I mean, I've changed a lot. Now I eat predominantly organic and vegetarian, but still, right? Like, coming from that place of like, oh my God, if I don't do something, like, my own health depends upon it. And so just like you were getting sick, and it's like you had to figure this stuff out. And now we get the gift of being able to share kind of what we've done with other women and other people. I mean, I'm assuming you help men too with skincare, right?
Well, yes. And it's funny because I had some gentleman, he was in his 60s, and he's done laser and things, and he came in this roll by there, which is random, because you know where I'm at. It's not like it's a drive-by.
Right.
But he found us. He came in, he started talking to me, and he started an organic skincare program because the other stuff, he goes, yeah, it works, but then, you have to keep up on it, and it's so expensive, and you're not so expensive. So I explained to him how this is really cheaper in the long run and healthier. And he's totally down with it. He's so cute. He's this little old guy. And he was all for it. So you're never too late to learn either.
Yeah.
That's with his face looking better.
That's a good point. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, you were never too late to learn. And that's great. Like, the people who are on, this webinar with us, they were mentioning a few things that they said they're excited about. And like, anti-aging was the one of the things that Marisa commented in the box and said she's excited about. And I know we're going to get to your 3 radiant skincare secrets for holistic anti-aging. And I'm curious, before we get into this, like, what is your definition of holistic? Like, I like how you wrote that out when we were going back and forth on what to call this webinar. Instead of just the usual HOL, you actually put the word holistic. So do you want to maybe talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, and that's not my invention. It's on the internet, and they're kind of interchangeable. I like that better because it just shows that we touch the whole body. So, of course, there's that outer physical aspect of the skincare, which is hugely important, and quite often the purpose left out or not done consistently and so forth. But there's also the body, the spirit, the emotional, like you mentioned, the gut feeling. your stomach. That was emotional. So when I do any of my skincare treatments here, and when I do any coaching and so forth, I like to look at the whole body. What is someone doing? What are some of the things you can do for the anti-aging process that is not that, slap this cream on or rub this way? While that is truly important, there are other things that we can do even at the office, or, like earlier I was thinking about the one tip that you probably know with the thing, and I was like, oh yeah, that's so funny, we'll just do that first. But I've been around long enough to know it didn't happen, and even the dry run yesterday and today didn't help. And so, so it is. There was a reason why. And anyway, so that's really what holistic is looking at mind, body, spirit, the entire person, and how you can age gracefully, but also, I wish I had a picture handy. I have one, but I look older when I was 39 than I do now, and I was just approaching 50. So,
Yeah.
It does really work. And I'm one of those people that will not believe it till I do it myself. So, I'm like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of it is the meditations and things that we do here and so forth. So that's just a little meditation on anti-aging. There's no stress.
Amazing. Yeah, and just so you guys know, on the webinar, when Cheri says here, she's actually she's at her spa right now, Oasis to Zen.
It's not really wonderful for my skin complexion as far as what I but it's the best room because
you're glowing
here. And I know, and I'm not saying that because for me or anything, but I do know that it gives me a little bit more of the color of this, which is okay though, because this is the best place. But yeah, it's nice and quiet in here, and I'm in the working spa right now, so yeah, I tend to forget that not everyone knows that I'm here a lot.
Yeah, great. Well, how about we jump in? You have 3 really juicy tips to share with us, and what I love when you sent them over, I'm like, these are so out of the box, and I think that's a really exciting thing for the people listening to this webinar, is they're not going to be kind of your typical anti-aging tips, but what I do hope, maybe if we have enough time, if we can kind of keep the tips short and condensed, is maybe we can let them ask a few questions at the end. And then also, I want to make sure to reiterate that we have a special gift that Cheri has prepared for you guys that you're going to want to stick around for. And I will share that link so you can get an instant download to that after she's done sharing her tips. So you guys are going to want to hang around, and I got that all set up. So without further ado, how about we get into the 3 tips?
Okay. So at this point, I'm not sure where my notes are. So I don't know if you have the notes handy. So if I go off topic, here they are. Just because you know me, I tend to ramble and go on a tangent. So I'm giving you permission to bring me in if I go way over here on the sidebar on some island or something.
Okay, I will.
What I did was just kind of, sat down and thought about what are a couple of things that maybe someone would not think of first and foremost as an anti-aging tip. And of course, usually, and if I didn't, I imagine someone would ask, there's usually a question about products and ingredients. And most of us have heard of, parabens, propylene glycol, oh my gosh, it's antifreeze, or PEGs, which are also derivatives of propylene glycol and so forth. But what I chose today as a non-toxic ingredient that I wanted to just share a little bit about is benzoyl peroxide. Because while I've seen that on some lists as an irritant, and I have a list here that I have hanging out that it does have it, I just realized this morning, it's not really talked about very often, and it's also in almost every single acne product there is. If there's not salicylic acid, then there is benzoyl peroxide. And it concerns me a little bit because it's not necessarily the best thing to put on your skin for a breakout in the first place. In my experience, I've found it very drying, and the evidence shows this also. It's an irritant. It can throw your body out of balance, again, there's that when you see the irritation, dryness, any swelling, anything like that, it's out of balance. So on a bigger level, benzoyl peroxide has been found as far as the 70s to be cancer causing, as well as there was evidence of tumor growth, DNA mutation, and so forth. It's really not a good product, and it's banned in Europe. So while we get to use it freely in almost every acne breakout type of solution, it's not even allowed in some of the rest of the world. So that doesn't
like most of our things here in America.
Yeah. So I wanted to share for myself a little bit about, I have some things over here so that you can see it's really, really simple. I use essential oils in my room quite a bit. And so what I suggest you use instead of benzoyl peroxide, and there's a study that I don't have it handy, but where tea tree oil in particular has been found to be just as effective as benzoyl peroxide in getting rid of breakouts. You can put the essential oils, which I have a couple here, and then I have a little bottle that shows it already mixed up. And all you do is mix it with the carrier oil, which I'll show you in a second. I'm not going to mix it out, but I use lavender, and I use tea tree, and sometimes I use lemongrass. And those three are found to really enhance skin health in general, support balance, as well as moisturize the skin. And so that balance that is showing up as an imbalance when there's redness, irritation, bacteria, all of that imbalance, these oils just simply help support the skin to be healthy and get back in balance. Okay. And so it's not toxic, provided you have an oil that is not mixed with other things, which is a whole other animal that I could go on for hours, and then Jess would be going, you're on the island.
Yeah, so Cheri and I, just so you guys know, so you're clear, we use Young Living. We believe that's the best oils. So if you guys are interested in essential oils, Young Living is the way to go. Tea tree, lavender, and lemongrass is what she just said for the anti-acne.
And so tea tree can be a little drying, and so what I do is, this is just an empty bottle, you can see like that, and I put some carrier oil. This is jojoba.
Do you want to explain maybe for the people on this call what a carrier oil is?
Yeah, and so the other one that I recommend quite often is coconut oil, and all that is a fatty acid oil that is different from where we distill the plant oil. The essential oils are distilled from a particular part of the plant. And fatty acid oil is just one that has taken in cold press, whether it is the coconut, obviously the coconut, almond oil is cold pressed with almond, et cetera, et cetera. So coconut is a very good general oil to mix in. So like this is, I think, 15 milliliters, so I put 15 drops, or maybe even 7 or 8 if you have not used oils before. And I would maybe put half of the lavender and half of the tea tree. I don't have lemongrass here, it's next door in my other room. And then just put a couple of drops. So
maybe 4 and 4? Is that what you mean? 4 and 4?
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, okay. So then here it is already mixed, and I'm just showing where you see I'm not shaking it, you just let it drop on its own, and then literally just press it. Or if you have, let's pretend I have a big pimple right here, and I would just do that. And that's it. So the difference between an essential oil and a carrier oil is the carrier oil is the whole plant, cold pressed, organic, non-GMO. You want to get one that's not been refined and all of that. So that's the biggest thing, is so it's not processed and changed in a structural manner with how the molecules are connected. So that's the difference between that and where an essential oil is taken from a particular part of the plant. Okay. And then, like I said, from there we can get on. So that's the very simplified, quick version. And you can contact me too. You guys will see that I'm posted on Facebook there, connected with this. So if you have a question, you can ask me after too. But anyway, so there we go on that one.
Perfect.
That's much better than the benzoyl peroxide.
Tip number 1. I love it. Let us know, you guys, in the chat box. Let us know what you think of that. Have you used essential oils? Are you excited to try this? Keep us posted in the chat box. Number 2.
Okay, so then the second one is what I was thinking about. And it's literally just to breathe. And so that's why I was giggling when what was happening with this computer. And thank goodness my son was here, because, or I wouldn't even have tried to fix it. But so here's what I do in the middle of the day or at night or whenever it is that I'm just having a stressful time normally. I'm sitting this way already because I naturally do multi-skater on the ground. My legs are crossed so that I can allow the energy and the flow of the breathing. And then I'll just put my hands, I put down, you can't put them up or you can put them down. And what this does is it actually helps ground you even more by your energy flowing within. And then I just stop and then I just close my eyes and really, literally just breathe in as deep as I can. And then breathe out as long as I can. So
let's do it.
If you can do it.
Let's do it together. And let's encourage everybody with us. Okay.
Breathe in.
Breathing in.
And breathe out. And let it see.
Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. I feel so much better already.
Yeah, and so why do that again? It goes back to you're out of balance and stress. Whenever we're in fight or flight, our body is aching because it's going, what's going on? What's going on? Instead of, oh, we have this over here that needs to be taken here. Oh, this cell isn't working at maximum capacity. Let's give it some more adenosine triphosphate. And so what it's doing is it's allowing you to come back into balance and your body to be able to do exactly what it needs to do and to keep as pristine as possible, which allows you to keep the radiance and all of that because it's not going, you know how you feel when you're like, oh, it's not the same as when you're just sitting here after you just breathe at that side time.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yay. We just had Jessie Lucas join us. Hi, Jessie. And Marisa says she's used coconut oil, but not essential oils. She's always been intimidated because she doesn't know the difference between some of the oils. I totally get it, Marisa, because when I first joined, I was like, oh my God, there's so much to learn. But the cool thing too, I mean, again, I'm going to plug Young Living because that's what Cheri and I both are obsessed with about Young Living is they give you so many tips and there's so many people and there's even a big book. What's that book called, Cheri? Of essential oils?
Reference for, so that you can look at it. But,
there's like a reference guide that tells you if you have this, you can do this, like for different ailments.
Yeah, so Jess and I can help you with that if you're interested in knowing more. It's just very much a whole other thing to try to even start in here. But I totally don't know. Essential oils were one of the big reasons I had rashes all over me. In particular, one that started here and was all the way down the side of my face. Who wants an esthetician would have her face as a rash? Not me.
Yeah.
That's when I decided to get help.
Yeah.
I was peppermint honey that was not a pure peppermint oil. That's how I know that can truly happen.
Yeah. So just so you guys have a little bit more clarity on this, there is a process of like how oils are distilled. Now, most companies will, and I know we don't want to get into this, but I just want you to know, most companies will use this really high heat, right? Like as fast as they can to get the oil out. Well, what happens when they do that is they damage the healing properties. So the better oils like Young Living do not do that. They use a very precise process. They do testing, like it's the purest form that you can get and there's not additives in it. So that's what Cheri's talking about when she got all created equally. Same with the coconut oil, how she mentioned cold pressed. same thing, right? It's really important to not use expeller press because, again, that's that high heat, get it out as fast as you can, do it cheaply. You don't want that, right? You want to nourish your skin with high quality products, which is what we're talking about today. And the cool thing is, I love, Cheri, that you also gave us a very easy free resource, which is our natural breath, to bring us down into that state of relaxation. And what I found so fascinating, I'll just share this really quick. I read the book Mind Over Medicine, which is by a Dr. Lissa Rankin, and she talks all about the flight or fight response, right? And when our bodies are in that, just like you were mentioning, Cheri, our fight response, and they're all stressed out. And what happens during that response is like our bodies can't actually heal because they're too busy like worrying about being stressed and like taking care of like the potential to run away from the beast, right? Like the way back in the caveman days. It's like, I got to get ready. Like there's no time for healing your body naturally. But what's cool is that when you can take those deep breaths, like Cheri said, and have a self-care moment in your day to just, cleanse 5 times, you can bring your body back to that, like Cheri was mentioning, homeostasis. And I love that you mentioned that. I'd never really heard or thought of ageless beauty or anti-aging like that. So I love that homeostasis. I'm going to think of that a lot more now, Cheri. Thank you.
Yeah, well, because we're either aging, so we're not. Now, we may not always be reversing, which there are some things like this that will help us reverse some. And I don't mean like, like you're going to look 10 years younger, although, like I said, I think I
You might.
when I was in my late 30s, so it's just interesting. But now with the breath, what happens is it allows the nutrition to get where it needs to go because you calm down, your blood flows more freely, you get better oxygen, so you get more nutrition. And so your body, again, is getting the nourishment it needs to balance out, as well as releasing what you also need to release as that blood flow. So it's just, again, another general way that we can easily get back to being calm and having our body do what it needs. And when we're not putting those other things into our body, whether it's stress or food or whatever it is, or lipstick with lead, then what happens is it can start working on that radiance. And that glow that you see sometimes, there can be a woman that's not the most beautiful woman in the room if you technically look at her nose shape or whatever, but she's the most beautiful in there because she has that glow from taking care of herself.
I love that.
And that's really what beauty is. When you say beauty from the inside, it's because it's that radiance that you show when you're feeling really just optimal because you're taking care of yourself. And that's one way to get it. And so,
yeah. Beautiful. I love it. Okay, so we got one more tip left, tip number 3, and then we'll share your free gift and then maybe take a few questions. I think we're actually going to have time. Look at that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So the third one is at least a couple of times a week, but every day would be super, super awesome if you did this. And this is an at-home face massage. Again, same process. It balances your body.
Not like that.
It begins to allow your body to have oxygen to the skin. It allows the same thing as what I just said, the releasing the toxins, the oxygen, the flow of the blood, and all of those things. And also when you actually do the face massage right on your face, not on your feet, on your face, then it stimulates all of the cells there to release toxins, to grab more nutrition, to get that blood flow into the cells and all of those things at that base level, so you get that radiant flow right there. So I am just going to demonstrate it.
Yeah, let's practice.
And so
I've got my makeup on, but I don't care. I want to try.
You know what? So what you're going to do is you're going to start out with your eyes, and then I will do a pressure point thing right here, and we'll move kind of into here, and then we'll do an all-over tapping.
Can you guys see? I just want to check because I actually don't think they can see you. I think only I can see you, but I will demonstrate. No, like only me and you can see each other. Yeah, because the way it works on these Hangouts is when your sound is on, then it'll switch the screen and go back and forth. But since your sound isn't on, we're doing it, we've got creative here. But don't worry, you guys, if you can't see her, I'm going to do my best to mirror Cheri.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I want you rather than logging out now. Okay. So the first thing is, and you should do this again 3 to 5 times. So if you're, you can do this once you figure it out. It's not that hard, and you can refer back to this. If you even just download this or make sure you have the link, just go back and look at this part. I do classes on this, so this is sort of like a quick freebie of just something you can do.
Yay.
So the first thing is the eye. It's eye awake, but it's kind of funny because you will just simply close your eye. Now, don't squint. So Jessica's going to show you. Don't do this.
Don't do this. Don't squint.
Yeah. So just you want to. We'll do this 3 times for the sake of time. Is you just simply close tight, but without any of the wrinkly type stuff, because that doesn't help. So 3 times, just close, something back into and open. Yeah.
So you're just closing your eyelids, but doing it like firmly? Oh, okay.
And that helps you just focus on what you're doing. Now you're doing your face, so now that's that shift. As well as it has some benefits. But then what you're going to do is you're going to take your ring fingers, and you think the ring fingers a little bit more pressure. So you're going to start in the center here of your eye, right above just right like at the bridge of your nose. These are the pressure points. You're going to press the left 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to move right up to the hairline. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Then out to about the alignment with your pupils. So back in a little. Be like straight up from your pupils.
Oh,
so
from
right
your
here.
pupils. Oh, okay, got it.
So 3. Then right here at the edge of your eyebrow.
Like your temples?
No, right at your edge of your eyebrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Move it in.
There. Yep. And then right at that bone right here at the end of your outer eye.
Okay.
Don't pull on your skin though. See how you just just when you pull, and you're aging.
I'm causing aging. Okay. So
just press right at the bone, right at the corner, not in your eye, but just at the corner.
okay, I think I got it.
You can feel the bone right there.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I need to do
I can feel it. This one?
You feel the bone
Yeah.
right at the corner. And then again, right up here, almost in alignment with the brown, but right on the outside.
Okay.
Then right underneath, again with your pupil.
Okay.
Then right here. Sorry, I started to go so back up in my treatment room. I go through that 3 times. But so then right at the bowl on each side.
Okay.
And then you are going to move above and below. Of course, my phone's in the ring right now. So press right here. Then you're going to go up and squeeze.
Like at your...
Just right here. Yep, just right here.
Okay.
And release. Squeeze. And release. 3 to 5 times. That sounds like a lot, but it's really not.
This is like yoga for the face.
It's kind of. But then you're going like this, and you see how I'm just squeezing my lips?
Yeah.
Very lightly. You're stimulating the cells to do their thing. Bring in more hydration and so forth. So all
This is good if you're not getting kissed like me.
I'm totally going to have lip stuff all over my lips, but that's okay. I guess they can't see me. So just very lightly to stimulate for a second or so. I will notice when I'm dehydrated and my lips from drinking out of straws when I was a kid, I have a little bit of wine, so it looks like I was a smoker. And I will do just the lips when I see I'm out in public and I'm like, oh man, I need more water. And I will do that and literally literally in 5 minutes they will have been stimulated that look less crazy and yucky because, you know, and I don't want to look like that when I'm out in public. So that's the last thing is, and you just tap, lightly tap all over. Up and down.
That feels good.
Yeah, most potent, but that's just and that's it.
I love it. That was fun.
So really quick, this is really just, or it just goes around, it really just goes around the eye. And there are several pressure points in there, so if you kind of got it a little bit off, as long as you kind of get every spot, you're going to stimulate it. So don't worry so much about, oh my gosh, you know, unless you're trying to go above your pupil and you get like way on the crown of your head or something.
Yeah.
It's just really good.
Well, that was fun. So, okay. So, yeah. 3 to 5 times a day?
No, well,
3 times a day.
No. If you can do it every day, that's awesome. At least a couple times a week. But when you're
a couple times a week.
3 times.
Oh, got it.
3 times. It's the moment 3 times. Please the lips around the lips 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking 3 to 5 times a day. That's a lot.
Now, if you could, that would be really awesome.
Yeah.
Most of us are here because we don't have the time to do a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you watch TV, if you in a jacuzzi, I mean, I don't watch TV, but if I'm trying to just chill at night and downshift, that helps me do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's an awesome little end of the night routine.
Yeah, that'd be a great self-care ritual for bedtime. So while you're just laying there and doing that. Great. I love these 3 tips. You guys let us know in the chat box. I hope you did it with us if you were able to. Let us know how that was for you. So let's just recap. So number 1 was the alternative to benzoyl, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, benzoyl peroxide.
Perfect.
And this is the anti-acne. And it's the all-natural, mixing the 3 essential oils, lemongrass, lavender, and tea tree. And if you were to just choose 2 of those, it'd be lavender and tea tree, right?
Yeah, you can use any one. Any of them are going to be good. I've just found that I like to do the 2 because they just support the skin in a little bit of a different way.
Okay.
With lavender and maxes, and then the tea tree is a little more, I find it to be good in the treatment room from playing around. And then of course, the carrier oil. Right,
and then the carrier oil, which could either be a cold-pressed almond oil or coconut oil or like avocado oil too, potentially?
Yeah, avocado is a great anti-aging oil. You start getting into, there's several different oils you can use for different things with the skin, which again is a whole other.
Yeah, we don't want to get you guys too confused.
It's sidetracked, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So that's a good one for, and really I use those essential oils on my skin even when I don't have acne. So just so you guys know, it's not like you have to have acne to use that. That can be just a nice moisturizer for your skin, a nice alternative. So that's number 1. Number 2 was the 5 deep breaths for anti-aging. Did you call that a specific thing? Like an ageless breath or?
Yeah, just a deep breathing. I'm stressed, give me 5.
There you go. I love it. De-stress and revive. Perfect. So that was number 2. And then the 3rd one was the face massage that we just did, where you're doing the pressure points around the eyes. You might want to definitely watch the replay to see me struggling and going slowly, trying to mimic Cheri on that. But doing that a few times a week at least, maybe before bed. That's what I'm going to do. I'm like, before bed, that'll be perfect to help me relax. So awesome. What great tips. Let us know, you guys, in the chat box, which of those was your favorite. I'd be curious to know, and I'm sure Cheri would be too. So we've got about 10 minutes left. So I'm going to, without further ado, add your gift that you have so graciously offered to everybody. I'm going to load that onto the webinar screen right now. And all you guys have to do hopefully you can see it. There's Cheri's beautiful ebook cover. She has put together this ebook for you guys, totally free, 3 skincare mistakes that add 10 years to your face. You probably want to read this. So make sure to click on the button that says grab it now so that you guys can get that instant download from Cheri. I mean, if you love these tips, which I have, you're totally going to want to go there and check out more of Cheri's wisdom. Do you have anything you want to share real quick about the book, Cheri?
Just that they are probably even more out of the box than what I just did. To me, they are, but when I was sharing with my coach, because of course we reviewed the ebook, and he's like, what? And as a man, he was just totally excited and jazzed, and thought it was just brilliant. I'm all, well, really it's not, but it's just, if you are familiar with it, it's your opportunity, and I think almost it's something I'm supposed to do is share that stuff. So yeah, so there's some more really cool juicy tips, and get them a little bit deeper into also the skincare itself. Mm-hmm. But there are some other things you can do just around the house that will help. So
awesome.
Yes, please take a look at it.
Yeah, download that. Marisa says she loved the massage. Really cool. And she's going to look forward to doing that. Awesome, Marisa. I'd love to hear from some other people that we have live. Everybody's so quiet. And we have a few minutes left. So this is a perfect opportunity for you guys to soak in Cheri's wisdom while you have her. I know I'm always like, rah! And of course, I can come up with questions if you guys don't. And this can be my whole, Jessica gets skincare tips from Cheri episode, but I would rather it not be that because I get access to Cheri whenever I see her. So yeah, take advantage of this. What questions do you guys have? Let's see what comes up in the chat box. So type those in right now. And I know I had one question, Cheri, while people are getting their questions together in the chat box. So you mentioned the propylene glycol at the beginning, and I'm actually thinking that people on this call might not even know, because I remember I didn't. I was like, what the heck is that? So do you maybe just want to explain why propylene glycol is so bad in our products?
Yeah, and propylene glycol is used a lot as a preservative, and it is basically one of the main ingredients in antifreeze, and it's really not something that, and by the way, it's also in some of our foods. So we consume it, and we also can put it on our skin, and what happens with that is because it's toxic, it just sort of accumulates. So while it's only a little toxic, over time it can become a lot toxic. And the really bummer thing about that is that anything that's a PEG dash and then a number, it's I think from number, I want to say 4, but that might not be right. It might be like a 20, but up to 400. There are many different of the polyethylene glycol, which is just a derivative of the propylene glycol. So when you think, no propylene glycol, they might have decided it as a PEG dash 100 is when I see a lot of in skincare. Okay. And it's just something that it's a neurotoxin. So think about it as it will numb and not allow your body to work properly in those areas. Just neurotoxin is just going to make you do nothing.
Yeah.
Like you're freeze. And antifreeze, the physics doesn't allow it to freeze when you look at it from that level. It doesn't allow those cells at that level, its molecules, do its thing and freeze. It keeps it in a static state. So within our body.
Okay.
There you go.
Good. So no propylene glycol, no PEGs, that's new for me. So good to know that. Okay, so we have a couple questions here. Is the 3 oils and coconut oil used for cleansing or a moisturizer? I believe a moisturizer, Anel. Is that right, Cheri?
Yes and no. It can be used as just a moisturizer. It can also be used as a spot treatment or a serum before the moisturizer. So, there's a whole lot of things you can do and multiple things, which is that's a whole other program. program again.
Mm-hmm. But she did say, Nell said cleansing. It's not for cleansing, right? You don't want to wash it off.
No,
right.
No, this is more for that. Now, there is a way you can do oil cleansing, but that's a whole other animal also.
Okay, good. And Anel also said, I heard that you could actually make your face sag if you do facial massage the wrong way because of the lymph nodes in our facial area not draining correctly. Is that true?
Yeah, it could be true when you're doing pressure points like that. And what I was doing is we're lifting up here, as you can, they can't see me. Dang it.
Oh, okay. Let me mirror.
So put your top finger is static, and then you're lifting up this point, and then of course with the pressure point, just show them like a pressure point, like, when it's just pushing, it's not actually stimulating your system. So it's not going to do anything with it. Now, yes, if you were pulling down on your skin.
Yeah, none of this.
Yeah, right. Like when you were pressing that point here and you kind of pulled down, you went like, I can't do that.
Yeah, I went like that, but we just want to go like that.
That would be something that Jess would say. So as far as tombstones, none of that's going to address that. There is some lube that you can do, and as long as you're working from top to bottom, you're fine.
Okay. So work from top to bottom, like she showed us on Elle. Yep. And then you'll be good. Alexandra says, I need to order some more oils. Yes, you do, don't you? All right, guys. Well, we have a couple more minutes. So what other questions do you have for Cheri? I love it. I'm curious, Cheri, if there's one essential oil that you had to pick for anti-aging, what would it be? Like if you had to. I know that's like maddening to even think of.
Just for anti-aging, well, okay, there's no such thing as just for anything, but probably frankincense, sacred frankincense, because it's great for wrinkles, saggy skin, age spots, just general tone and texture. I'm really not supposed to probably say all that, but as a skincare professional, I've learned that in school. So it's a really good skin enhancer.
Sacred frankincense.
So So that's, but because it's an expensive oil, one that's costs a little bit more money, I usually don't go to that one first for someone because I want them to understand and see the benefits of the oil before they're looking at the cost, and that just helps. But I will say that Alexander, wow, that's the name that my street is on. My street, I don't know what's going to say that. I will say that lavender is probably my next favorite because it's such a really great general oil for enhancement of the skin and wellness.
Good to know. I have this age spot that I've had for a long time, so I'm going to start putting, if I put sacred frankincense on, you think it'll start helping?
It would definitely help the skin do its thing, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start doing that. I do have sacred frankincense, and I love that oil, so that'd be good. All right. Well, I think we're just in time. I don't know if you guys can hear, like it's the lawnmower guy is outside my house. So I guess it's perfect time for us to end this webinar if you guys don't have any more questions. Thank you so much, Cheri. This is so much fun. Yeah. Oh, one more question. Okay, one more question from Anel. What can help with bags under eyes or sinking eyes?
So first of all, that pressure point massage will help move things through because it helps to detox. So if there are the bags and the sallow looking, dark circles, that just helps tremendously. Again, using the coconut oil and an eye oil that I use a lot is sandalwood and also cypress. Cypress is good for helping with some of that getting the circulation to move properly and things like that, and the fur. That's one that I have found to work in my treatment room.
Great. Sandalwood oil, cypress, the facial massage. Awesome. We just got, all of these things that we can do now for our beautifying radiance, which is awesome. So make sure you guys also grab that free gift from Cheri, right? Like, we could probably talk all day, Cheri and I, and she has so much wisdom, but make sure to get that free gift from her, because it's going to reveal a lot more things that you can do for your own radiance and your own beautifying natural skincare. And I can't say enough about how amazing Cheri is. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad we got creative and figured it out here. It's sad that we didn't get to see your face, but that's okay.
Yeah. I know, because I wanted to really be able to demonstrate, but okay, so there must have been a reason, right? And it was all good, and I really appreciate everybody for coming and listening, and we will hopefully hear more from you and get the book. And if you have more questions, then there'll be other things it'll give you connections and so forth. Maybe you can just won't be the last to hear from me if you are so inclined to hear from me again.
Yes, totally. And also make sure when you guys are watching this, whether you're watching it live or on the replay, there's some social media share buttons. So make sure you guys are sharing this with your friends. If you're finding this information really helpful, make sure you tweet it out or Facebook it out to the universe, because Cheri does have a lot of wisdom to share. And then Cheri, obviously the best way for them to stay in touch with you is by getting your free ebook. But if they wanted to go to a website or something, where would they go?
You can also go, I have a website here for the spa, which is oasistozen.com. So it's OASISTOZEN. Yeah.
Oasistozen.com.
Yes.
Perfect.
And there's also a place there that you can just ask anything you want, and then that goes directly to me. So I will definitely answer for you.
All right. Beautiful. Marisa says, thanks, ladies. And Anel says, thank you. So yes, thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you.
Thank you.
I hope to see you soon too, Cheri, in person.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everyone.